Welcome back. It is the Buckmaster Show. It's time for our monthly interview segment that features the monthly Scam Alert presented by the Better Business Bureau of Tucson in Southern Arizona. We're welcoming a new addition to the team at the BBB. She is the new Communications Manager, Susann Miller. Susann, good to see you. Congratulations on this position.
Thank you so much, Bill.
Well, I think that they made the right choice because you've got a lot of communication experience, and that's what's needed, certainly, that kind of thing for the Better Business Bureau, because the Better Business Bureau, when it comes to trust, people trust what you all do.
Yes.
I mean, that's kind of what, when you think of BBB, you think of trust. And when they need somebody to turn to, they turn to the BBB. And a lot of times they're confused because people figure, well, I've got storm damage on my roof. There's been flooding. I had some driveway issues myself from that big storm last Tuesday. So there's landscaping issues. There's car issues. What about the whole issue of bad weather and how to make a decision on who you're going to call?
Well, that's part of, a big element of why we are wanting consumers and businesses to work with the Better Business Bureau, is because we want to create an ethical, place where consumers and businesses go to trust one another. And with the bad weather, well, as you know, it brings us a sense of urgency to the decision-making process for most people. And if you've put off repairing your roof, or you have the fallen trees, or the weedy yards, or the damaged driveways, or the flood damage, you may be in a hurry to get those things fixed. However, when people get in a hurry, they sometimes make bad decisions. So here are some things that we would love for listeners to be careful of, mainly high-pressure sales, especially with people going door to door. They see the monsoons coming and they see opportunity,
So a knock on the door from someone that's trying to sell, hey, maybe your roof needs some work, and maybe the roof didn't really need some repairs, but somebody coming to your door is going to say, I can take care of whatever problem you've got.
Exactly. But, you don't know if they're a true contractor. They're just knocking on the doors, taking advantage of people. So you want to make sure that they're legitimate, make sure that you really make some phone calls before you're reactive to door-to-door pitches or sales calls on the phone. Never feel forced. Just say that over again. Never feel forced to make a hasty decision or choose an unknown contractor.
When it comes to people who do come to the door, there's a couple of things that we should tell listeners to be careful about. First of all, bottom line, are they a legitimate person working for a business? I mean,
right.
Perhaps do they have a uniform on? Do they have a name tag? Do they have a vehicle that represents their business? If you're suspicious, probably it'd be a good idea to maybe even take down the vehicle license plate number.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, see if they have a logo on their truck. Is there contact information on there? Does their cards have contact information? Something that you can do to follow up on the business. And if that makes them nervous by saying, how do I make sure that you're legit? What's your contractor's license number? And
if they run to the vehicle and jump in the vehicle and take
right.
off, I think you've got a red flag there, right?
But you've done your job in making sure that you're protecting yourself, asking the right questions, and that's what we just really want to make sure that people are doing, is really taking the time to listen to what they're saying and not being reactive to what they're telling them the problem is.
And Susann, if people are in a hurry, they want a quick fix, unfortunately, they may go with just one bid, one estimate. It's probably best to get 3, correct?
Absolutely. Always. Well, most of the time you don't know what a good price is.
Right.
So getting multiple bids allows you to really get a good feel as to what's the correct amount, what's legitimate, and be very wary of low estimates. You can be set up for a bait and switch tactic, and you don't want that happening. So, yeah, that's definitely important, and I appreciate you asking for that because BBB has a service where consumers can get a quote from accredited businesses. So that there again, we talk about the trust. If you go to tucson.bbb.org, there is a Get a Quote button on the lower left side of the homepage. Consumers can use this to request a quote, and you actually get multiple quotes from the entire industry.
Wow. Just hit Get a Quote button, and then you're in business. What about paying for the job in advance and getting a written contract? Those seem to be very important issues.
They are critical. Be wary of any contractor who demands full or half payment up front. Insist that payments be made to the company, not an individual. That would be a red flag for you. And always pay by credit card. If possible, because you may have additional protection by doing that. And as far as the contract is concerned, always get a written contract. You want something to confirm what the contract is specifically doing for you. Specify the price, the work to be done, who will do it, the amount of liability insurance coverage maintained by the contractor, and, really define the time frame. This is important in addition to, get a copy of the current certificate of insurance and license of the contractor. The signed document protects you. And
if the company hopefully has the Better Business Bureau seal, that's a step in the right direction, correct?
Of course.
So lots of things to think about if you're if you need some work done after the monsoon season. It was interesting that Consumer Reports did a big article about kind of the changing demographics, and they were talking about how that changing demographics, Susann, is affecting the whole scams.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm thrilled you saw that posted on our website. The article really was eye-opening because it really said that, get ready for this, that it's millennials who are actually more susceptible to scams than anyone else. And in millennials, they're well-educated. They consider themselves to be savvy consumers. But you really just need to make sure that you're doing your part because everyone is vulnerable, and the millennials, they're afflicted, according to the white paper, with the so-called optimism bias that makes them feel invulnerable and causes them not to take safety precautions. So in this study that was done by the BBB was really something that was took a long time to do. They did a lot of research. They have numbers, and this is not something they made up. This was a paper that they feel like was really important to show that millennials have a tendency to ignore warnings and other advice that could prevent them from being targets of scams.
And that's so contrary, we think of the seniors as the only age group that needs to be worrying about scams. But according to this report, the millennials, with their what the report calls this optimism bias, also could be very vulnerable to losing money to a scam.
Yeah. And, seniors are hit by scams.
Oh, yeah.
Hit hard by scams, to the tune of about $3 billion per year.
Mm-hmm.
But the survey conducted of more than 2,000 adults found that those between the ages of 18 and 24 were more than 3 times as likely as seniors to not recognize a scam. And then ages 25 to 34 were more likely to report losing money to a scam. No one's safe. You got to take, precautions.
They talked about a counterfeit check scam is a real popular one. Real quickly, what is that? What was the bottom line to that? And how can you protect yourself from something like this?
That's a really good example, especially for that age demographic, like a fake secret shopper job that, really appeals to the younger demographic,
right,
where a company will send them a $7,000 check and instruct them to use the money to purchase computer software or other items. Then with their debit card, wire some money like $6,000 back to them through a U.S. supplier company. Soon after they find that the company's check is fake, then they owe the bank $6,000 because they don't have enough money in their account to cover the cost.
So don't get too excited about a new job. really encouraging. I make $7,000 by just sitting home and basically clipping coupons or something. I mean,
too good to be true.
Yeah, too good to be true, the old adage. So really, no matter how savvy you think you are, don't assume that you cannot be ripped off.
Absolutely. Absolutely. No one is invulnerable.
And the Scam Tracker is a wonderful resource at tucson.bbb.org. You can track what's going on in the scam area.
Yeah, absolutely. You can look it up, and there could be multiple scams out there. Just because it's one scam, there's multiple companies that are doing it. They're smart. They know what they're doing. They're sophisticated. Consumers are not safe. So definitely check it out.
Wonderful information, Susann. Thank you very much. There's a mixer coming up that we want to tell the listeners about. It's this week.
Yeah, thank you for bringing that up. Yeah, we have a mixer at Barrio Brewing Company this Thursday at 5:30. Everyone is welcome. It's going to be a great time. So come on out, and if you want the details and you want to register, go to the tucson.bbb.org.
And bring plenty of business cards.
Absolutely. It's really a great event.
Susann, thank you very much. Congratulations on your new position as Communications Manager at the BBB. They made the right decision.
Thank you, Bill.
All right, 12:46. On this Monday afternoon on the Buckmaster Show, we'll be right back. Tucson's got a birthday this week. Ken Scoville, our historian, will tell us all about it next.